begin to think about the goodness of God and the love of God. And I begin to think about the fact that out of all the people in the entire world, that God would look at and He still loved me. Insert my name on that line right there. When I realize that's what God did for me, I'll shout about it. I'll thank Jesus because I know what my God has done for me.
Mercy reigns and never dies, and there's a place where streams of grace flow deep and wide. Where all the love I've ever found comes like a flood flowing down. You know, you sing it. At the cross, I surrender my life. I'm in all of you. I'm in all of you. Where your love ran red and my sin washed white. I owe all to you. I owe all to you, Jesus. There's a place where sin and shame are powerless. Where my heart is peace with God and forgiveness. All alone, I've ever found comes like a flood flowing down. Sing it at the cross. At the cross, I surrender my life. I'm in all of you. I'm in all of you. Where your love ran red and my sin washed white. I owe all to you. I owe all to you. Here my hope is found. Here on holy ground. Here right now. Here right now. Here arms open wide. Here you save my life. Here right now. Here right now. At the cross, I surrender my life. I'm in all of you. I'm in all of you. Where your love ran red and my sin washed white. I owe all to you. I owe all to you. At the cross, I surrender my life. I'm in all of you. I'm in all of you. Where your love ran red and my sin washed white. I owe all to you. I owe all to you. I owe all to you. I owe all to you, Jesus. At the cross, I surrender my life. I'm in all of you. I'm in all of you. Where your love ran red and my sin washed once torn and beaten, left without reason to move on. Then you reached down and pulled me up from the valley of dry bones. You were the God that saves. You were the one that rescues me. You rescued me. You were the God that saves. hear the song. I hear the song. I hear the song of victory sing over me. I hear the song. I hear the song of victory ring over me. I hear the song. I hear the song of victory ring over me. I hear the song. I hear the song of victory ring over me. You are the God that saves. You are the one that rescued me. You rescued me. You are the God that saves. You call me from the grave. You rescued me.
I want to teach you an Old Testament word for love. You'll see it on the screen. It's this word, hasak. It's in Deuteronomy chapter 10. That word in Deuteronomy chapter 10 is this word that would be translated by us as tethered or bound to. The fair. The Washington Parish Free Fair is coming up. When my little ones were growing up, there would be times when we would go to the Washington Parish Free Fair when they were a little bit smaller than they are right now. And so when they were a little bit smaller, one of the things that they would do, and when you have three little ones running around, then all of a sudden, as you got these three little ones around, they would have these things and they would look like little monkeys. And these little monkeys, now you've got a cute unicorn on, buddy boy. That's really cute. You can keep it. You owe me $12. But one of the things that we would oftentimes do is, we were one of those parents. They had a monkey with a cute little tail on it. And we would go to the Washington Parish Free Fair, and all of a sudden, they'd want some popcorn. Or all of a sudden, they'd want some kettle corn. Or all of a sudden, they wanted to go to the Bowling Green booth back in the day and go and get them some fries. Or they would go buy Letha's, and they just want to see that big old turkey leg and stuff. And so they'd run around, and then we'd get into the midway, and all of a sudden, they would just begin to walk. And so they began to walk. But you know what would happen? My kid would be tethered. And so while he was tethered, when he would begin to walk off, I could just begin to bring them back. And so all of a sudden he'd want to go and he'd want to ride that little thing. You remember that ride that they have? The kind that's got that ride where that little ride where it's the little boats and stuff. And so all of a sudden they want to ride there. But you know what would happen is in the middle of all these people, I'd give them a little rope, a little bit of leeway, but then when it got too much, we just kind of pull on the tether. Why? Because they were bound. And times when Daddy wanted them a little bit closer, when Daddy wanted him a little bit closer, he'd get real close, and Daddy would make this little leash and put it a little bit closer to him. Why? Because he understood two things about this little leash, this tether. One thing the leash, the tether said, is that this one right here, the one that's trying to run away, this one belongs to me. He's mine. So you knew, all right, well, you can't grab his little leash because this is my leash on my kid. This one belongs to me. But what you would also know is that not only is this one mine, but this one here has somebody who is in control of his life. He's got somebody who he is tethered to. He has somebody when he tries to walk a little bit too far away that his daddy would just simply yank that little leash and bring him back home. Now listen, this is what the love of God is. The love of God says, you know what, when we realize that God so loved the world, his children, when God would so love them, that you then begin to be tethered and bound to the Lord. Now you can decide yourself, well, I don't like that. That's not freedom. Friends, you've got enough freedom, but the reason why he is tethered and bound to me is because I know that there are times that he will get himself into trouble if he just runs by himself. And so in those times that he just wants to go and go crazy, I've got a soul love kind of experience that he is bound to his daddy where I will not let him go. And you know what the thing about the Lord is? When you are bound to Him, you may not have a physical leash, but you've got the Holy Spirit of God that does not let you go. And listen to me, there are times, go ahead and try to walk away. There are times that God will snatch you and bring you back home. And if you ain't ever been snatched by God, I'm talking about like snatch, like, take the weave off kind of snatch. I'm talking about, when He snatches you and brings you back home, there is nothing that will get your attention as God snatching you. And why does He do that? Because of love. Because I'm saying, this one is mine. He is tied to me. And this one here, I will not let them go so far away. Why? Because I so love this one. I so love this one. You can keep that one right there too. Walk the dog later on if you could.
Money.
So you know what you've got to do? When you realize how much God so loved you, you can't keep on saying so. You can't keep on saying that doesn't matter in my life. What you have to do is say, Lord, tie me to Jesus. And then, Lord, in the times that I run away from Jesus, bring me back by the very love of God. Agape, unconditional, sacrificial love of God. The picture in the Old Testament is God binding Himself, tethering Himself to you so that you cannot run away from Him. Before you leave here today, stop running and just hold your Father's hand. It'd be a lot easier when they were little if they would just go where I wanted them to go, listen how I wanted them to listen, and just walk hand in hand with their daddy. But now we go to the fair and some other little boy wants to hold her hand. But you say no. Because my hand belongs to my daddy. I'm talking spiritually. Let's pray together. Father, thank you for this morning.
Friends, thank you for joining us today at Westside Emmanuel Baptist Church, the church that loves God and loves people. We hope you'll be able to join us this coming Sunday at 10:30 a.m. or 6 o'clock in the evening time. Wednesdays at 6 o'clock for our prayer service, and we also have youth and children's activities as well. We look forward to seeing you. Hope to meet you in person here in Bogalusa with Bogalusa on our heart. We hope to see you soon.